Hi everyone, it's Heidi from Flutter by Heidi, back with another project for you, and this time it's a variation on a no glue tuck and fold box, and this one has a little recess at the side. Just thought it made it a little bit different. Somebody's probably done it out there before, but as you can see there's no glue involved at all, and it's just a lovely little gift box, and I've done it using a combination of old and new products. So the old is the Twinkle Twinkle paper that you can see here, which is lovely for all sorts of occasions. It's here, you can see it's got stripes, it's got lovely pretty sort of blues and pinks, so if you're doing particularly any baby projects it's lovely for that, but it could be used for all sorts of occasions as well. And then I'm using some new, which is the Wildly Happy. This is a stamp set that I got on stage, which is where all the demonstrators get together, and I just love it because it is got these gorgeous stuff like mother and baby, you know, super images on it, and I love this particular elephant, and this is for a very special friend of mine, and obviously you could colour code it depending on what you wanted to do. So let's get on and make one ready to go. So this time I'm going to need some piece of cardstock, and I'm going to use some of the cardstock that we have. I've had to change my camera setup and I'm not terribly happy with it, but hey, you know, we'll give it a go. I'm going to use the Petal Pink again because I just think it's a lovely colour, but just to show that, you know, you could put either colour together. No, I'm not going to use Petal Pink actually, I'm going to use the Pool Party. Petal Pink was my accents, that's why I've got the Petal Pink out. So to start off with then, I'm going to start cutting my cardstock as soon as I can find my piece of paper with my measurements, and I'm cutting it to 8 and... no, I'm not cutting it to 8 1/4 because that's for another project. Right, now I get the right instructions. I'm cutting it to 29 by 21 centimetres. So on the length, that's 29 centimetres, so just taking a little bit off the edge. And then it's by 21, which is the full width of UK A4. I'll put the measurements on in centimetre and inches on my blog because I have done it in both. So you're going to score the short edge at 3 centimetres, so I'm doing that on the right hand side here, and then at 4 centimetres. Just make sure you butt that up nicely, and do the same on the other side. So at 3 centimetres and at 4 centimetres. And that just makes it sometimes a little bit easier than trying to measure on these little bits here, which can be a little bit tricky. So that's our short side. Then on the long edge you're going to score at 7.5, at 10.5, at 18.5, 21.5, and that's it. Okay, so you're going to end up with a piece that looks like this. You're going to mark one end at 7.5 centimetres, and I'll show you why. This is because what we're going to actually be doing, you'll see here, is you just need to mark across the edge so that you can trim down. So it's 7.5, and flip it over and mark at 7.5 again. Now what you could do is you could either do as I'm doing, which is to cut it on the trimmer, or you could actually mark it and then cut it with a knife. Up to you entirely, but you're just coming across to, if I show you on this one, so you're lining it up and you're coming across to this point here. It's just easier sometimes to show you because I know it can be a little bit tricky to see those marks on the side. So if I just cut on that side there, then flip it over and do exactly the same again. So you're going to line up, And the reason I'm doing that bit of trimming, it's based on an origami box. The reason for that is because you want to reduce the bulk a little bit to go into it. In terms of our panels, we're going to need some panels for the top. That's 12.5 by 7 centimetres. I'm just going to cut my 12.5. I'm going to cut a piece at 7 centimetres. And that's going to create our layer. And on my original box I just did some layers on the front and the back, and also on the sides. So I'm now going to cut my side pieces at 2.5 centimetres. So as usual, on 2.5 we're going to cut just to the side here, and then we're going to cut our layers of DSP as well. So with my DSP, I'm going to use my pool party, and I'm going to cut that at 12 centimetres. So again, just to get that layer, we're doing 0.5 centimetre increments, and that gives us a nice layer. So 12 by 6.5, and then by 2 centimetres. And those are going to create our little layers like so. Okay, so what I've got is a layer for the front and back, and then a layer for the top here as well, like so. And if you ever find that you've got a slightly rough edge, just come in and just with this is just a nail sanding block, and you can just gently sand the edges just to take any roughness off there. Sometimes it happens, particularly if you've cut it from one side. So for example, if I cut it from this side and then cut it from this side, you'll find this reverse edge is slightly raised, so that's when you generally tend to find it. So then we need to use our bone folder. So grab my bone folder and just reinforce these creases. And once you've done in one direction, this one will need to come back in the opposite direction, like so. So fold it over, and then come back on itself. Then you just reinforce those other creases. Like so. And then the last bit that we're going to need to do is to fold across here, which I forgot to do when I was doing my scoring. So all you need to do is just score diagonally. She says, hoping I've done those in the right direction. Yeah, that's fine. Yep. So it's from the centre out, basically. So if you imagine, so this is the centre pointing out to the four corners. So you're coming out, out, out. Again, you can hopefully see that on here to create those folds. Now, while it's flat, this is the perfect time for us to pop our panels on. So our bottom panel is here. I just happen to have some fuse handy. Or not so handy, because that appears to have decided not to work. Do you know what? This always happens whenever I'm doing a video. It's so frustrating. Right, okay. Let me quickly pop a new fuse in. Obviously the fuse isn't available anymore. I still have some supplies just to make it easier. noticed I've done exactly what I told you not to do, which is I've glued on the reverse side. So I'm just going to smooth those edges. There we go. So pop that on like so. And pop this panel on like so. Then let's do our 2 panels. And so the colours are so lovely in this paper. So a lovely sort of subtle colours that really you could use them whether you knew the gender of the new arrival or not. And this is for a super friend of mine who is expecting her first baby. So this is to package up some little treats for her and little gifts obviously for the baby. Okay, so this is our basic box done. So all we need to do now is just fold these creases. So if you just fold those like so. And so there are lots of boxes out there. You know, this is based on an origami box that has been around. Well, how long's origami been around? Donkey's years. You know, it's the Japanese would So if you wanted to, you could just pop a little bit of glue on there just to keep it in place. There we go. But basically, it really does fold much easier than I'm showing you. There we go. And that just creates that nice little recess. There we go. And you can tuck that flap in like so to create a little box. Now all we need to do is decorate it. So I have some Memento ink and I have a scrap of Whisper White cardstock. I have this lovely elephant, and all I'm going to do is just stamp that very quickly like so. Colouring couldn't be easier because it's using our Stampin' Blends. So I'm just going to come over very quickly with the light smoky slate. And the brush tips on these really do make it very easy to get lovely coverage on these. And the shading, I haven't been a great one for colouring in the past. I never really got on with some of the other brands of marker, but I have to say I find the Stampin' Blends so easy to work with. Just having those 2 shades, I don't have to worry, because it's Stampin' Up colours, I don't have to worry about remembering numbers or anything else. I just, I've got light and dark, brush and bullet. So I'm going to come in with my dark smoky slate, and that's where I'm just going to come in on these. Can you see where the lines are? And just where you'd create some shadows, so kind of in here. And I've literally, I do use literally ever such a lot. Isn't it funny when you listen to yourself, suddenly you think, gosh, certain words I use rather a lot. And then all I'm going to do is just blend those in with the brush tip again. And you will find that that just gives you enough shading. You can just come down with those ears. I'm just going to go over the back there. And when that's dried, that really will look very effective. And then all I'm going to do is come in with a little bit of light old olive just to kind of colour in the ground. just so they just appear to be standing on a little patch. Then I'm going to use our 2 1/4 inch punch to punch that out, like so. I'm going to attach this to a pre-cut stitch circles, and so that just is going to come on like so, and that just fits within the stitching, so you don't see the stitching on that one. And then I've got a 2 of the ovals that we use, and all I'm going to do is just use the oval, the stitching on the smaller oval, almost as a guide, just to kind of get a little layer. So I've just taken that little layer off. I'm going to come in with my Memento black again for you, and I'm just, as I die cut that out of, that's pretty rubbish stamping, but hey, there we go. My friend won't mind, I'm sure. She'll look at it and go, oh yeah, videoing again where you hide. And then all we need to do now is pop that up on some dimensionals, and there you have a quick and easy no glue box using our lovely Twinkle Twinkle DSP and the new Wildly Happy stamp set. It's available from June, so you know it really won't be very long before you can get your hands on it. But I have to say, you know, if there's something you like in the current catalogue, do make sure you get it now, because things are selling out fast, and there's nothing worse than wishing you'd got something. So there you have a little box. So from a sheet of cardstock and a little bit of DSP, we have a pair of gift boxes ready for baby. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me again soon, and if you'd like to purchase any of these products, pop along to my Stampin' Up shop, heidismith.stampinup.net, or visit my blog where you'll find the dimensions on there and also the links to products I've used. And if you click on the images, it'll take you through to my website where you can purchase them. I hope you choose me as your demonstrator. I'd love to be able to share the host gifts with you, and I'd love you to be part of my team. So come and see me soon. Bye bye.